My name is Hannah Ryan, and today I'm here with Alex Hartwig, and she is here to talk about Northwest Study Abroad program. So, what got you started in this study abroad program here at Northwest?
Well, this is my GA position, so that's kind of how I got started. I just applied. I've always been interested in international affairs and traveling, so it fit well. I studied abroad in high school,
So where did you study abroad to whenever you were in high school?
Belize.
Can you talk a little bit about what it was like studying there at Belize?
It was exciting, very new. I was 16, so very adventurous. Everything was new, so that was cool.
Could you talk a little bit about the study abroad program here at Northwest, what it has to offer for students, any requirements in order for a student to study abroad?
So the first requirement is you have to be a sophomore, or you have to have 2 trimesters under your belt at Northwest. That's just to make sure you're acclimated and to make sure you're able to function as a college student. After that, you have to have a 2.5 GPA, letter of rec from your advisor, disciplinary check, just basic things, making sure that you're going to be able to function in another country and at another university and succeed. Northwest offers direct and exchange programs. Direct means you are paying directly to that program and to those universities that you're attending, where exchange is you're going to be paying Northwest tuition. And so the benefit of exchange is scholarships like Bearcat Advantage, Tower View, a lot of your grants, your student loans apply towards that. So we usually encourage students to do that just because why not pay what you're paying here? A lot of times direct programs are going to be almost double. So it's a more affordable option, and there's still a lot of great programs, a lot of great universities. We're connected to over 200 universities in over 70 countries. So we have a lot of different array of programs. They're specific to much any major. We have internships, full academic year, semester programs, summer programs, student teaching, service learning. Let's see, I think that's about it. But we have a lot of different programs that we can kind of tailor towards each individual depending on what they want out of it. So if they want to get more job experience, they can do an internship. They can do that at any point in the year. It doesn't have to be just in the summer. It can be in the fall or in the spring. One of our most affordable programs and one of our, I think, best programs is our program, student teaching in Finland. So students do their student teaching here where it's 12 weeks here and then 4 more abroad. So we usually encourage more than 4 just because, we're already on our 4th week of school. So that time just kind of goes by very quickly. And just being able to be in that culture more is just going to help you succeed and you overcome different things. It will help you grow and have more worldly perspective as well.
What do you feel like the biggest benefit is for students to study abroad?
I think just the worldly perspective and getting out there. A lot of students have not been out of the Midwest at Northwest, so just getting out and seeing other cultures, realizing that, Maryville isn't the only culture, that everyone's different. Diversity is a good thing. It's what makes everyone unique. It's, like I said, it's a positive thing. It helps with coping. It helps with being able to thrive in a new environment. It helps with a lot of different things. A lot of businesses, it looks really great on an application, so that's pretty good too.
Where are places that students have traveled that you feel like are just really cool places to go?
Austria. I always really emphasize that one. We have a program that is through exchange. It is by the Australian Alps, and so their school is right next to the Alps, so they are able to go hike, go on walks. Their school is also unique in the fact that it's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and so it's 2 weeks of an intense course, and you're just focusing on that course, and then it's 2 weeks off. So a lot of our students that go there succeed in academics because it is an academic program, and that's our first emphasis because you can't study abroad without the actual studying. But they also are able to travel a lot in that program, and so they're able to expand their worldview even more. We had one student go through that program, and she was able to go to 13 different countries while she was abroad and just kind of all around Europe. So it's a pretty good program.
If you had to select anywhere to study abroad now as like a college student or whatever you were in college, where would you want to go?
I think when I was younger, I always thought Australia, but now that I've gotten older and Australia's great, but I'd probably want to do somewhere in Southeast Asia.
Could you talk a little bit about like you talked about summer being an option for students. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because we do go to school for 2 trimesters and then being able to take that summer.
So we have a lot of different summer programs. What I forgot to mention is we have faculty-led programs as well. So that's where a faculty member takes you and a group of Northwest students to a specific area. We have 2 going this summer and then 1 going during spring break. The spring break one is for education majors. It's to Reggio Emilia, which is in Italy. And they basically just go and observe preschools. It's a lot of hands-on stuff. They're learning how to apply all of this stuff to their future teaching, which is really awesome. They're just learning different aspects that will only help them improve more as a teacher. Our summer programs we offer also they can be anywhere from like 2 weeks to 8 weeks. So it just depends on what you're wanting. The other faculty-led programs are psychology, which is to Northern Ireland. They're looking at the background of Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I think it's children's play and their imagination. And then our second faculty-led program is our internship to Ireland and in Dublin. It's 8 weeks long, so it's a course for the first 2 weeks and then an internship for the last 6 weeks. That's going to be, I think, one of our best ones that we've had so far, just because it is a longer period, so students are able to experience more while they're there. 2 weeks is usually a pretty short time, and they'll help each other to lean on throughout their internship, so that's another good aspect. Our other summer programs we offer kind of can go anywhere you're wanting. They're mainly direct programs because they are so short. We do have a few exchange, though. But those are usually around 2 weeks to 4 weeks. You can kind of take whatever courses you're wanting. You can take your major courses, minor, gen eds, if you want to take electives. Sometimes people do career building or resume building courses. An example of that would be a lot of students are going, or not a lot, but we have 3 that are applied to Costa Rica in a medical Spanish. And so they're going to be with other pre-professional majors who want to learn something that they're going to be valued in their future career. So that's something that's really unique and a cool emphasis. There are language courses if you're wanting to do that. We had a couple students last year go to Japan for an intensive language course, but that's not the only option. Some people think that you have to like go take a language course if you study abroad. We also have all of our courses are going to be taught in English unless specified that you want a different language. So our Spanish majors and minors a lot of times will go to Spanish-speaking countries and take different courses taught in Spanish just for their Spanish electives. But other than that, the courses will be in English. English is the most universal language, so your classmates are going to speak English. Your professors will speak English, so that's something that a lot of people are kind of scared of, which is why I think more people want to go to Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom just because they do speak English. But stepping outside that, you're just going to grow and prosper more. So.
And how does Northwest ensure that like these credits that you're taking across in another country are going to transfer back and actually help you earn your college degree?
So how that works is you have to get a course approval form. So you take the course description, that whatever course you're going abroad for, you take that course description and you pair it with whatever course that is equivalent to that at Northwest. And so if you're taking a chemistry abroad, a chemistry course, you will take that course description to whoever teaches chemistry here or to the head of the department, and they'll sign off saying, yes, this is equivalent, this will replace this. If you don't sign off before you leave, it's harder to get them approved. So that's why we really encourage students to sign off. Some students, if they're taking like to take a whole bunch of culture courses when they're abroad. We had a student go to Asia, and that's kind of what he did. So he knew none of them were going to count, but he just wanted that experience. So, I mean, that is an option, but we usually encourage students to have those courses transfer over.
What's the application process like for a student who's wanting to study abroad?
The application varies with whatever provider you're going to, but for Northwest, it's always the same. You can log in through our Northwest site. So if you just go to resources and then study abroad, and then you can start an application once you find whatever application you're wanting to start. And then from there, it asks basic questions like what's your gender, what's your age, passport information. It'll have you have a letter of rec from your advisor. You'll have to do a disciplinary check. You'll do your degree audit, upload, along with sending transcripts over here because we do have to make sure you're in good academic standings. In addition to that, it's a pretty simple process. But if you go through one of our providers like API, ISIP, or ISA, you will also have to apply through their site. It's pretty repetitive, but we need the same information that they need. They need to make sure that you're a good student just like we do. They need to make sure you're able to function at the university just like we do. So I think a lot of people are kind of like upset or annoyed that it's so repetitive, but we both need the same information. So
What do you feel like is like the biggest reason why students are afraid to study abroad?
Costs. I think a lot of them are afraid of costs just because they think, oh no, I have to pay, $30,000 to travel abroad, when in reality you can pay what you pay at Northwest. So I think that's a huge reason why people are afraid. Or some people are just, I had one person at SOAR say that he has never left Missouri and that he likes Missouri. So I think that's like a common thing within Midwest people. They like to stay here, which is fine. That's totally fine if you don't want to leave, if you don't want to travel. But it does really, really help broaden your worldly perspective, give you a new eyes on something. So.
How many students do you know that Northwest averagely sends abroad in like a given school year or given a trimester, I guess?
So the summer is our biggest one just because of our faculty-led programs. I think business has 20 going abroad in the summer, and psychology has like 13. And then in addition to that, we have like 11 or 15 applications right now for summer. Usually we send about 10 to 17 students abroad each semester, like spring and summer. So.
How early do you have to get your application in order to study abroad for the next trimester? Kind of how long is that process?
So the process for studying abroad in the fall, the deadline will be March 10th for all programs except for ISIP, which is February 10th. And that includes summer programs too. So all summer programs, those are the same dates. And then all programs in the spring, it is August 28th for ISIP, and then October 1st for all the other programs. So,
where do you see students most commonly traveling to?
it just kind of depends. Usually in Europe, just because Europe is so easy to travel around. Once you're there, you're able to go to this country, and kind of hop around. So it's something that's really big. Our marine biology majors want to travel to Australia because they do have one of the best programs. It's right on the Great Barrier Reef, so.
And then have you traveled out of the country a lot?
So I went to Belize, and then I did a service learning trip for Northwest to Puerto Rico, and then last year I spoke at an international conference in Japan.
Out of those places, where is your favorite been to go?
I really liked Japan, which was surprising, but it was such a great country. Everything was very unique. It's a really cool culture.
So when you study abroad, are you put with students from that country or students that are also studying abroad from America or other countries?
It's a mix. So you won't really be paired up with anyone. You'll just be in a group of exchange students. So those exchange students are going to be from all over the world. If you go to like the place in Austria, there were 40 exchange students, and some were from Belgium, some were from Germany. Europe has a very good exchange program. Like in Finland, you're required to study abroad. So some countries have that requirement, and so they're just kind of all over. But there were also students from America that she was with as well. So it was kind of funny. Her two roommates were from Northern Alabama, and the year that she went was the year that we played them in the national championship. So it was kind of a little rivalry going on there.
Thank you for letting us talk to you today and learned a lot, so thank you.